Alright, the stream has started. We are live with the GTI series. We don't have the largest field, however, I have a pretty good saying about them. We don't need a big field to make a big race. So, we can see how things go today. Let me put up the stream. We're going to be starting qualifying in just a bit. We'll be doing one pace lap, and then we'll be going yellow in just a few short moments. And clear the board. If you want to check your times, press Z for zebra. No more indecisiveness. You guys need to be ready. If you're not ready, then yeah, watch the lights. One lap yellow. Yeah, you don't need to wait. Someone's not going, you could pass them because they are AFK. So it doesn't matter what position you guys are in right now. We are in a qualifying period. Now again, we are under caution, so don't go too quickly. Let's see, it's 7 cars here in the field. Eris said she might be racing, so we'll see where that one goes. Lights are black. We'll be turning green in just a moment. We're going to be going earlier than usual. Lights are green. 5 minutes will start once a car crosses the start-finish line. Making our way now down into the final corner. So our opening lap cooking up here. Five minutes starting now. And clear the board as well. Trying to make his way all the way off the track, so it looks like this might be a throwaway for him. Oh, wait, no. Alright. That's fine for now, but that move in the race will be penalized. We'll allow that for now, but I can see that was some leeway. So, if you go wide into the turn, into the hairpin, as Twin did, demonstrated by going like 2 car widths off, that'll be scored as a cut. So, once things settle. Anyways, first lap, Mr. Monaco with a 50.078. Purple sector 1 for Twin, a 9.967 in that green and yellow Lotus Ferrari. Twin making his way into the braking point, out of the corner. A very high-speed part of the track, by the way. Down to the final turn. A purple sector 2 for Twin. Twin crossing the start-finish line and goes top of the board. It's a 49.733 set by Twin Triple V6. Now we're going to try to get a good photo here. That wasn't very good. We'll catch him on for another lap. Again, we do pack lead rules, so the field is determined roughly by a general estimate of how the leader of the race is doing. Again, we got pack lead. Current pack lead looks like it was Twin. We're going to try to get another good shot here. That's Mr. Monaco. That'll work for a thumbnail. That won't. Alright, 2 minutes left in qualifying. Let's see how the board looks. Twin Triple V sits potentially to set a better lap time. Mr. Monaco cooking something right now, though. So is Twin. Twin makes his way out of the final corner. And he's going to pull into the pits. At a purple sector 2, Mr. Monaco is not going to go for any improvements. Twin is going to stay and does a bit of a pit stop by the looks of it. I cut, by the way. Air's Nut is in game. So Air's on her phone, just trying to at least qualify. So we've given her a special car. And she's not bound to set any laps, just trying to run for points. Again, there's only 2 more races on the GTI schedule into the overall schedule. We have this weekend in Nets one at AIC. And this is going to be a 60-lap race today with 70 cuts to limit us off. Now, we have we're going to be pretty close here for the finish of qualifying. So keep tidy there, folks. We'll see. Mr. Monaco is going to be the one to determine whether or not we're on the final lap as he makes his way to the hairpin. Mr. Monaco now making his way out of the course into Sector 3. I don't know why I was saying what I was saying here. Kind of in a tweaky mood. 14 seconds left of qualifying. It's close. This could be it, or this could be an opportunity for another chance. One more lap. One more lap. White flag. All right. This is a chance for Mr. Monaco to go quicker. Currently third on the board, by the way. You got Dabcat 2078. Podium starting position. So there's a 7 making the way through Sector 3, the final time for Mr. Monaco. Down to the final turn. Mr. Monaco making his way up the hill, and he's in the pits. He's done. Checkered flag is going to come out. Checkered flag, you are done. Monteum Proto. Alright. So I want to say something about how this is going to finish. Before the pits, yeah, you just got to be between these 2 spots. So, there is some new people. I suggest you go back and see where your pit box is. For Opmanos, your pit box is the 15. Just gonna delete this car. So. Make sure you guys head to your spots. If you don't know where it is, Mr. Monaco's is the Mercedes. One CM. Come on, dude. Hop out of the car. I mean, you already shouldn't be racing. You do realize that, right? So. Just drive backwards. And if you're wondering, Miss 1TM, your pits, the red pit with, there's a red sign with the black circle and number 1 on it. Going to be clearing the extra pits. If you guys can line up in the following order once you are ready. It's going to be Twin Triple V sits in P1, second place, Mr. Monaco. Jack Pro's going to rejoin. Jack qualifying P4, I think first time in a while, short of the podium. And I think Garris is probably... Oh, her car just died. So again, what's your name? Roberto, your pit box is this one over here, the black with the white circle 53. Again, you guys want to make sure both make sure your car is within those posts and the line. If you can do that, then your pit will be valid. If you fail to do that, it'll be a drive-through, as goes with other infractions. Again, there's a white marker on the entry and the exit of the pit lanes. You'll be in first gear until you exit the pit lane line. So once you pass this line, you can shift up, but you want to be in first gear. There is a line before the entry. Make sure you're in first gear, red line before then, and try not to speed. If I catch you speeding or upshifting, so don't be the guy that upshifts, you will be given a drive-through penalty. Jack Crow, if you could back up one spot, please. And let Dabcat take up the spot. Thank you very much. We're going to be doing an AFK check here, by the way. We'll be doing 2 pace laps as well. So, if everyone could hop out of the car, please. So we can do the AFK check. Technically no, but at the same rate, kind of. Pitting is not mandatory, but you're probably gonna have to pit because there's a bit of a tire wear factor. So, yeah. Just make sure you're in first gear red line when you're entering the pits. And slow down, of course. And don't be cheeky. We're waiting on Dabcat and Mr. Monaco to hop out of the car. Waiting on Mr. Monaco to hop out of his car. This is an AFK check. Oh, you're gonna... Nice. I'm again waiting on Mr. Monaco to get off his car, otherwise you're determined as AFK. Okay. Alright, everyone hop in your car when you're ready. If you're not ready, stay out of your car. This is the AFK check to make sure. Once you're ready, you can stay in your car. And that's, again, if you're ready to get going. If you suddenly change your mind, then you need to hop out again. We are now waiting on Manos. Okay, now we are waiting on one more car that is Baberto. So a 7-car field, not a bad size field to be honest. We are gonna go at a slow pace. Go when the car ahead of you goes, and watch the lights. Once we reach the second lap and we reach about sector 3, you're gonna start to slow down to 60 miles an hour. And you're gonna stay there until the green flag drops. The yellow flag is out. Wait for the car of you to go. Wait for the car of you to go. Remember, you're going to want to be in a low gear. You're not going to be, or you're going to want to be on a low RPM. These things eat up fuel. If you need fuel, then you're going to have to do a pit stop. Take a pit stop, you'll take an EOL. End of line situation. Once you're in Proto. Alright. They have been deleted. You two are gonna now start from where you are currently. If someone slows down, you could pass them. If they slow down particularly a lot like that, because they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, you just need to be holding your flow. So, yeah, you're gonna want to be in a very low RPM here. If you want to adjust your speed with the throttle, not the brakes. Because that can make some people disoriented. Once you're in Proto, please try not to... please back off of Manos. Manos, try to catch up, but stop using your brakes to adjust your speed. you need to use your throttle, just coast. Alright, we're doing pretty good on pacing, by the way. We are gonna fix our cuts. We're also gonna clear the board. Alright. What is going on in the back of the field, guys? So this time by we'll be going 60 miles an hour next time. 1 lap to go. Please do not pass car review until you cross the start-finish line. That will be counted as a jump, even if you have a better shift than them. The exception to that is if someone has a particularly bad start or they're particularly far behind, to the point it would call off a start. That's an exception. So. Off it's your lap. So again, from the back to the front, it is, it's after that little weird thing that happened, we have Roberto on his first GTI race, again from Barbados. 1TM Proto, Manos catch up. 1TM Proto is going to be in the 6th place spot. Up ahead of that, in 5th place is Manos. Jack Pro PC in 4th place, 1 short of the podium. Ahead of that is going to be Dabcat, 3rd place. 2nd place is Mr. Monaco in the Mercedes 7 machine, our pole sitter's twin. Alright, you guys are going to be doing 60 miles an hour. I, again, do not recommend you be in your rev limiter. In fact, do not pace in your rev limiter because you're just going to ride it. So, and you'll get a bad start. I'll let people pass you if you get a bad start. So don't be that guy. Alright, so lock in here, folks. We are on the final turn. Okay, no passing until you cross the start-finish line. Watch the lights. Green flag. Jack Pro PC, Jack Pro PC. Okay, clear jumps, clear jumps. Thank you. Twin Turbo V sits off to start us. Makes its way past turn 1. Mr. Monaco 2nd place. I think I need to fix Mr. Monaco's. I'll check that one post race, but again, there's only 70 cuts. You get 70 cuts, there will be a 5-second time penalty out of post race, no matter what happens. It is a 60 lap race, so this should take about 15 minutes here. As long as we're free of cautions. It's a slightly longer race than usual. Usually it's about, 45 minutes or so, but that's where we're at today. Now, Dabcat, his first GTI race, he had a bit of a rough ROX Mod race at Saugus. Things turned around in the ska NSX. Of course, that is themed after the iconic two-tone checkered pattern associated with the ska genre of music, as well as the specials as a tribute to the band. And of course, the late Terry Hall. Jack Pro PC in the 4th place spot. He's been kind of staying there. As Amanos is in 5th. 6th place is Proto. So let's see how Twin does his first lap. Or second lap. Had a purple sector 1, but it's not going to go any quicker. Dabcat, meanwhile, technically 2nd on the board. He's got no corner cuts. His strategy might be to run a clean race. Jack Pro PC closing in the gap little by little, although he's got about 5 car lengths to build up here. Amato's going very wide off the track, and that's going to unfortunately cost him a corner cut again. The cuts are basically just barely over 1 cut a lap, so you're going to want to watch yourself. The cuts are marked by the cones, so as long as you're not going through the cones, you're not going to get a cut. You might be a little bit strict on some corners. Again, these things are left-hand drive, so particularly on left cuts, whether they be outside left turns or the inside of left-handers. So, something to keep in mind. Meanwhile, Jack Pro PC is closing down that gap for third place little by little. Dabcat has had 3 laps on the podium. If he can hold up together by the end of the race, he'll be taking home 50 Robux and a fairly nice third place prize. And it looks like there might be something going on there in the back too. There's one team Proto at Manos. Manos has not raced in a bit of a hot minute. I think this last time he saw him out was Northwest Ohio with the Super Indies. So, again, it's been a pretty darn long time for the Moroccan. As here's one team Proto on the attack. Just want to check that. Okay. One team Proto makes the move, but here's Manos down the inside. Manos carrying speed with that number 15 Mercedes on the red and black Ferrari. Now, Manos, I'm gonna warn you. You got quite a few cuts here. It's not an official warning, but you want to watch yourself. Bit of side-by-side action there between the Ferrari and the Mercedes as they make the way through Sector 3 now. Both of them taking rather unorthodox lines, but it seems like it's gone in favor of the 15 Mercedes. And that's a car that's very commonly associated. That's a car very commonly associated with the R15, one of the drivers in the series. He turned up today, wasn't really happy with his overall pace, so he kind of just backed out of it. Now, Only Team Proto's made a bit of an establishment now of their position. So, mind you, it's been a little bit of a while since we've seen these cars out on track. I think if anyone remembers, it was the SNGP race. Now, that was a bit of a barn burner. It was a lot of side-by-side action, if I recall correctly. There's Dabcat getting loose. Holy smokes. Unfortunately for him, here's Jack Pro clearing him on the outside. And he will make the rounds through the outside, but Dabcat's still in the rear bumper. What a save by the checkered ska-themed NSX, but, you know, style points aren't exactly going to help you get a podium. Now, one of the negatives of getting loose like that, of course, is that your tires get worn down. So, his tires are now slightly more worn than everyone else's after that little mistake, and it's not very significant, but it's just a bit, and that just a bit could be the difference of a couple of tenths by the end of the race. But that being said, Jack Pro has locked himself back into a very familiar position, which is up there on the podium. Yeah, it's taken about 7 laps here, so almost 10% of the race. Or a little over 10%. But that's all it's taken. Now, that being said, that could put the question of tire wear is going to be a factor. I do know that the NSX is notoriously high tire wear, so maybe that's something to keep in mind today. That's a little bit wide there from Jack, but I don't think it's enough to really affect him too badly. See him make his way through the final turn. It looks like he's gonna be pretty much good for now. And folks, not a whole lot to report. See, one thing that makes this class a little bit different than the others is that the cars are technically not balanced, and well, Eagle does try its best at the start of the year to get them balanced on AIC. We'll probably see a pretty good race on that track, but this track is just really not the case. I mean, we don't really do BOP, so we'll probably get to doing that in the future, but yeah. I think there's something going on between Manos and one team Proto once again. Manos has rebounded and closed in that gap for the top 5. I think Roberto might be at risk of falling a lap down now. As long as he doesn't fall 7 laps down, he'll still be in the race. But, of course, small concern. He didn't really show up and do any practice laps, so I'm not really surprised by that per se. Now to turn number 1. Once again, Proto's still going to lead off that chase for the top 5. See what's going on between Dabcat and Jack for PC. It looks like Jack has been closing a little bit away. Been pretty much just driving his own race, doing a good job. Of course, if we could finish P3, that'll allow him to get 50 Robux after this season is over, which it's actually really close to now, so I'm actually just about ready to do the payouts for Speaking at Grand Prix, so that'll get done. Jack Crow now makes his way through turn number 1. Again, this race is kind of just a race people are running through. Cars don't seem balanced. It seems like the BOP has been almost unfair, I guess, in a way, in favor of the Ferraris. And that being said, one team Proto is also one who's not been having the best race. But I do suppose that does show where things are. Everyone really kind of just on their own track, and I think there's Twin. So the Corvette number 53 getting passed by Twin Turbo V6 to be put a lap down. Now, if there is any cautions, that is one lap that'll be back every time we get a caution. So cautions in this race are not from spins, but rather from because this is not an oval. Cautions are going to be from significant crashes where cars get stuck, or flips, or disconnections, stuff like that, that would most likely be a DNF in most situations. So, not the end of the world there at this current time. However, he is a lap down. Just going to have to live with it. I think the other two are also going to run that sort of course in probably about 10 more laps. Currently running about 23 seconds down. Yeah, we're just gonna watch this one build up. All right. Forgot to change that. My bad. I suppose that ends qualifying for real this time. It's just a joke. In all fairness, Mr. Monaco, I mean, unless you're trying to go for the win, you're probably going to be okay for second at least. It's really a big gap there. think, yeah, Mr. Monaco now closing in on the Corvette number 53 car being driven by Roberto. His debut GTI race, so again, just trying to get familiarized with the general physics. Of course, Dabcat's another one there. He's running 4th place, but the Corvette seems to be one of the cars that's suffered a bit from the lack of a BOP. Has something happened to Jack, bro? Or Dabcat, for that matter? I think something happened to Dabcat because he's quite a bit behind from Jack, bro. Again, we saw him nearly spin out earlier, so his tires are slightly more worn out, and he goes to the pits. Remember, first gear red line. You're going to be in the checkered pit box. You just need to have your 4 wheels in there. Inside those posts, and you're good. Alright, looks like Dabcat makes his first pit stop. Press X and get going. First gear. And he's good. A little late to the throttle, but now he's going to fall a lap down to twin. So there goes the end of sets. As Dabcat, who was at third at one point, has now fallen a lap down, so that could be a potential factor here. And a bit of a thought to have. If you want to do a pit stop, if you get a bad pit stop, you might run the risk of falling a lap down. I'd say that was a pretty bad pit stop there by Dabcat. Meanwhile, off the screen, a pass for the top 5, but a battle going on. Models gets loose. Here is some speed from 1TM Proto. Now to the hairpin. Here's a battle we've been waiting for all day. To make our march through the first third of the race in just a bit. Side by side for the top 5. Models doing what he can to outrun the other Ferrari of 1TM Proto. Out of the final turn now. It looks like a pretty good line there by Manos, but 1TM Proto on the slingshot line. Here he goes, side by side, down the front straight into turn number 1. 1TM Proto makes the pass, but Manos is going to slingshot back. 1TM Proto and Manos going at it side by side. They make their way down the hill into the hairpin. Here we go. Manos is down the inside. 1TM Proto gets on the exit. A little bit of lag there by the red and black Ferrari. He's going to take an outside line. Manos down low. And that was a great exit by the 15 Mercedes. He's going to make the move. Now they're the final turn. An inner line for Manos, but 1TM Proto right behind. And it looks like Manos got the better exit of the two. But 1TM Proto is still right there in the rear bumper. As this is, in fact, the battle for third as of now. So Twin has made a pit stop. Falls 40 seconds down. Or laps didn't count. You see, chronologically, it looks like you've done a pit stop. And where you are on track, looks like you've done a pit stop. I'm going to try to see where Mr. Monaco is. That is hard as hell. Alright. We're gonna put the lead under investigation if Twins laps didn't count. If you have evidence, if anyone has evidence, that'd be great. I'll try to figure that out. Because I don't know why his lap wouldn't be counted unless they missed the sector. So just keep driving, Twin. We'll figure out after the race is done. So by technical position, it's Mr. Monaco, but Twin, if you want to stand by where you finished, then you will technically stop on. Just keep driving another lap after you finish, Twin, just in case. But I'll put an investigation to that. I don't know if you actually did or not, because like, if you actually pitted, like you pitted about where you probably be. If you had like a kind of bad pit stop. So he might be that Twin might. If his car is struggling, that'd be a good sign that he hasn't pitted yet, so I don't know, we'll see. Of course, if he goes for a pit stop, and that pretty much guarantees that he's right about what he said, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to do something like that, so let's see. We're going to put an investigation to Twin. I'm not going to say that in chat to prevent anyone from doing anything. Twin is going to be investigated to see if he actually did or not. Yeah, I do not have substantial evidence, really, whether or not you've pitted, so I'm going to have to figure that out post-race, Twin. Just in case my ruling is that, you know, that you have pitted, just do an extra lap. But I'll try any way I can. So, let's see what's going on between Amanos and Jack Pro. I mean, Amanos and Monty and Proto. So currently the battle for third, and it looks like Amanos has made a pass here. And he's got a couple car lengths between himself and Monty and Proto. By corner cuts, he's doing a little bit better than Monty and Proto was. He was starting a little bit at first, but he's been driving a very clean race. And as of now is technically running it for third. Again, that's still, we're trying to figure out with Twin. See if that's really the case, if it's if that is the case and he did pit, then he'll keep where he is. But yeah, holy smokes, Monty and Proto and Manos both getting very loose there. So there's Twin overlapping Roberto again. Trying to see what the gap was between Mr. Monaco and Twin from the last lap was. About 10 seconds. Yeah, that's the part that's really screwy about all this, is that if he pitted, you know, roughly speaking, he probably would have lost about that much time from Mr. Monaco. Maybe a little bit. If you had like particularly bad pit stop. Okay, Twin goes out of the pits. We're gonna presume Twin did pit then. Or did not pit then, so... Twin just goes into the pits and says fuck it, so... it's fallen 30 seconds down. I guess that settles it. Twin, I apologize for that little discrepancy. If there is any evidence, though, that he did not pit, please do provide it. We're going to probably investigate this one for a while. The call is still that... I've changed this lap, so... Anyways, Twin makes the pass on Jack Pro. And that should technically be for second here. You guys remember the time? I think I remember a time many years ago, 2021. Twin and Jack Pro kept on getting drive-through penalties. Now here's Shaq pitting. And Jack makes his way out of the pits. There's Dapcat in the pit. I don't know what Dap's doing. He's pulled it off, and I don't know if that's a retirement. It's been 3 laps, so I'm going to assume that's probably the case for him. He's out of any competition here. So we currently got 5 cars competing for anything. There's Manos. Not too far behind from Jack Pro. Roberto says spun. Yeah, well, one thing that's a little different from this to the oval races, we don't call cautions for spins. Because they don't do that on road courses. Usually a spin is just at most a sector yellow, which pretty much means nothing. So, yeah. On an oval race, you spin out, that's a whole full course yellow. But, yeah. We're doing good for now. So we stay green here, and currently Mr. Monaco ticks down another lap, although I know that gap might be decreasing a bit. And it does. Oh, way off track there for Mr. Monaco. It's a little bit sketchy on cuts too, but not too bad. Now, by the way, we've surpassed the halfway point by about 2 laps, so this race is gonna take its toll, and we'll just let it go through. Mr. Monaco now making his way through the final corner to mark down another lap. Let's see. It's not a bad lap for him. But looking at the board, it's pretty close between himself and Twin. But Twin's gonna knock down probably another one through. Yeah. Oh man. Now, mind you, Mr. Monaco has had a couple of wins in this category in the past. We saw him do it at Moss Ring, and I think he's done it I don't remember where he's done, but I'm pretty sure he did it again on another track. Not sure where it was though. Anyways, it's going to be the run for the front for twin turbo V6. He's got about 10 seconds to make up by the end of the race, which, knowing him, is pretty well within his abilities as long as he can hold himself together. Twin makes his way past the final turn and down the front straight. The last lap for Mr. Monaco was about only a tenth slower than what Twin can set. Let's see what's going on there for the oh, just pretty much spread out nice as it is. So we'll just be watching Twin. Man, this race is making me tired. I mean, after this, I mean, this class needs darn POP. Man, we won't need one next week, as far as I know, because the cars are tuned off of it. So Napcat's retiring. About falling that many laps down by now, so yeah. Let me remove Napcat's car. Alright. A little bit less lag on the track. And I don't know what happened. Something happened with Mr. Monaco. I think he did a pit stop. You're fine. You're not even halfway there, so you're fine. Just keep driving the way you are. You'll be okay. It looks like Mr. Monaco's gotten himself into a pit stop, but he's going to run a little bit quicker, but it's going to be up to Twin to push. Twin making his way now to the final corner. So, looks like one of those pit stop passes. That's going to allow Twin to reclaim his lead. Looks like, I believe Mr. Monaco didn't believe he had what it took to hold Twin off for the whole race. So with a change of, little change of things, Twin will take the lead back. Now, I want to see how many laps of Super Indies are. We got 2 more classes coming up tomorrow. The Formula Micros, of course, at 12, and at 2 p.m. the Super Indies for an 80-lap race. Those are going to also, like these, do quite a few pit stops. Probably actually more. So, I'm kind of curious to see. It looks like, at least for the GTIs, it's a pitting track, and will certainly be one for the Super Indies. A little bit of a touch of the brake for Twin, but it's still a very fast Sector 1. Another lap to knock down for Twin. So he makes his way through the final turn. And after next lap, we'll be seeing 20 laps to go. So, next time by will be at the last 20 of the race. Now, Twin has been consistently knocking down sub-50s. He's the only car on track that's been doing that. Pretty much establishing his untouchable status. He's won the last 2 features, both the ROX Mods and the MITS cars, and as it's looking today, if he could hold himself together, he most certainly has a very solid shot to win the GTI series. And we got 2 more races this week, and of course the Formula Micros and the Super Indies to close the weekend off. That'll be on Sunday in the afternoon. But yeah, looks like Proto could be potentially at risk of being put a lap down in a couple of laps. But yeah, just overall not a whole lot to report. We're just kind of just watching things as they go through. Yeah. After that in mind, I guess I'll just let you guys enjoy the sounds of the cars. There is a couple people at potential risk of corner cut penalties, and if you keep on going the way you are. There's Mr. Monaco and One Team Proto's 15 cuts from a penalty, and Mr. Monaco's 14. So just try to manage yourselves if you can. Meanwhile, we're just going to let you guys enjoy the sound of the cars. Is headed to the pit lane and fulfills his pit stop, and it looks like a decent pit exit for him. I will put him a lap down, however, I don't think he's too far behind from One Team Proto, and Proto's on old tires. He went all the way out the track. Yeah, so we'll see. Mr. Monaco, you are 11 cuts from a 5-second time penalty. Do try to manage yourself. One Team Proto gets very loose, and I don't think he's gone into the pits. Manos has, and you could barely hear him in the background. So, potential factor here. Twin's lap didn't count there. I saw Twin goes into the pits again. I'm not sure why he did that for Twin. Yeah, I know. Well, with 15 laps to go, there's a new leader. That is Mr. Monaco. Really, it's the only person that's plagued, and I actually saw that. I was watching Twin, so that is particularly odd. So there's some validity to Twin's claims, and I'm really not sure why that is. But I don't think anyone else is really plagued by this. With that being said, I guess that turns things a little bit around. Twin, having done a pit stop, has about 4 seconds to make by the end of the race. Mr. Monaco's tires are a little bit old, but not really that old right now, but they will be at the end of the race. So that's a bit of a bad situation for him to be in. So he knows he has a car behind him that's driven by a very fast driver. He's got fresh tires. Change of plans. Looks like we got a yellow. Race back is going to continue to go on, though. Keep on going. Tim Proto jumped out of his car. Gonna take an ELO. So race back currently going on. There is Mr. Monaco about to pass out Manos again. You can get a lap back. Yellow flag is out. Alright, once again, Proto, you can get your lap back. Monos, you get 1 lap back. Twin, Mr. Monaco is the pacing car. Make sure not to stop your cars. Jack Pro, that's the pacing group up ahead. Make sure to merge to them. So there's 5 cuts for Mr. Monaco, but this is definitely... Now, mind you, the pits are currently open. We'll be going back to green on lap 51. So you guys got 2 laps to figure things out. Well, the Corvette can also get a lap back. You could pass the leaders here. You could pass the leaders. Good. Yes, you only get 1 lap back. Go. Actually, no, go full speed, full speed. You either catch up or you don't. Go. You have 1 lap. Technically 2, but... Yeah. Monos merged at the back of the field. The reason why is because these things have fuel and tire wear. I'm not just gonna give the lap back, you kinda have to do that yourself. So... The field's not far up ahead. I believe, let's see how we are. Yeah, we're gonna go green in the next lap. It's not this one, but next lap. So. Proto, join the back of the field. You're a lap down. Yeah. you're good there. If there's another caution, then you'll be back up there, but yeah. So again, this next lap, we will be going green after this one. So not this one, but next lap. This is your chance to do a pit stop or not. It is really your call. So the pits have been open, and they happen. So if you want to do a pit stop or not, this is your chance. Nobody takes it. Oh, that's interesting. Twins got fresh tires. Mr. Monaco's are a little bit worn. He doesn't seem to buy it. That could be the end of it for him. Just focus on pacing, dude. So again, the lights are out. That is a universal symbol that we got one lap till we go green. Reminder not to pass car review until you cross the start-finish line. Someone gets a particularly bad start, will allow them to be passed, even if it's the leader. That does not mean that you can blow by the leader, though. So, no sandbagging for Mr. Monaco, but no jumping for Twin. That's a FYI for both of you. Alright. Closing into the final turn. Couple cars downshifting, preparing to go green. Proto, move it up. Watch the lights. Green flag's out. No jumps to call. Proto had a bad start, we'll let that slide. Also, he's not even on the same lap, so it's not gonna matter for the Corvette. For the lead side by side, this is a bit of a shade of Abu Dhabi from 2021. Twins down the inside, Amana's going wide. So we run the side by side for the lead. Again, that Ferrari's got fresher tires than the Mercedes. I mean, this is pretty predictable at this point. Twin makes the move. I believe at this point, I think Twin is going to just about get away with it. He only pitted a couple laps before we went yellow, but the older tires of Mr. Monaco and Jack Pro, it's just kind of bound to be. I must also remind Jack Pro that he has 5 cuts, so he gets a time penalty. 6 for Monty and Proto. However, currently as it stands, that's not going to affect anywhere you finish, Proto. It will affect Mr. Monaco. I'm really not sure why Mr. Monaco didn't do a pit stop. There was not a lot to lose. But there's a lot to lose by not, in this case. I mean, I don't know if it's just a personal choice, but yeah, you can just see that Ferrari is just absolutely walking him. Still holding off a pretty solid run for second, although you are 3 cuts from a penalty, so you probably don't want that. Sure. Okay. Let me check the board again. It still is in favor. Twin is the only car that has set sub 50s. It's been doing so consistently. But looks like the field is spread out. We will let you guys enjoy the sound of the racing as we take a little break from commentary. We got 5 laps to go now. I just realized that. Okay, I just remembered something. The cut limit was 70. As a host, I am terribly sorry, but you guys are okay. You guys are okay. That is on me. It doesn't mean to run through like. Okay. I forgot about that, but. Yeah, it was 70 cuts. I thought it was 60 for a bit. This race has been a bit mind-numbing. Mr. Monaco. Okay, well now you're not far away again though, so you should probably watch yourself. Saying to stop worrying. But, Jesus, okay. No, but as a host, I'm very sorry. I made that little mistake there. Mr. Monaco, you're still only 7 cuts away though, and there's 3 laps to go, so... Try not to fuck up. You're 5 to go, and there's only 3 laps. Dog. 4. Dog, watch yourself. You are so close to the penalty once again. You haven't been getting anything out of it. Oh, man. I'm trying to let these guys drive, but they seem to be... It's kind of relieved some of their stress, and they've become a little bit comfortable again with the track limits. Of course, Twin, only with 21 cuts, is running a very clean race. He's led the entire deal, 58 laps here. A couple switcheroos with pit cycles, but, you know, other than that, it's really been his race to win. So 2 laps to go here. And 3 corner cuts for Mr. Monaco until he actually gets a 5-second penalty. That guy. I promise I didn't switch that last moment. I actually was writing off the fact that I thought it was 60 laps, but it crossed my mind through all of this very mindless racing. I mean, as much as I love the GTI class, man, it's been... We need to BOP these things. We'll be okay next week, of course. That's where the whole cars are set up at, but... Like... Damn. So, white flag in the air, guys. 1 lap to go. Mr. Monaco, you got 2 more cuts, but Twin Turbo V sits. Looks to wrap up 3 of them, as he has won the last 2 features and pretty much uncontested here for the lead. You know, this race has been a bit of a run through a race just to kind of get some sports car racing going. Of course, the most historic class in SLC, the one that's been running for 5 seasons. Twin makes its way now through the final corner and up the hill. Making it 3x3. Twin Turbo V6 wins at Tarumã. Second place is going to be Mr. Monaco. Third place goes to Jack Pro, who started in 4th, moves up to the podium. Unfortunately for One Team Proto, he's a lap down, so he'll have to take his top 5. But that does lock in Manos to finish 4th in style. Do you have one more car on the track? I think that is the Corvette number 53. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Cuts it through the final corner. Out of the final turn, the number 53 Corvette. It is Boberto hopping out in style, and he Ricky Bobby's it. And Ricky Bobby finished for Boberto. but also jumped out of his car. Worst race ever. Alright, so those who are on the podium, again, that's going to be Twin Turbo V6 at first. Second place is Mr. Monaco. Third is going to be Jack Pro PC. If you guys can line up on the podium. If you guys want to stick around for interviews, you can. Let's get that podium photo through, though. I'm also going to get the trophy sent to the top 3. So, quick time today was also twin. So, let me write down the results. Pretty easy to do that, not a lot of cars. GTI results. Twin Turbo V6. The R8 Club. Jack Pro PC. 4 Atmanos. 5 MTM Proto. Glad to see it back, by the way. 6 is... let me write his full name. GNF is Stabcat. Quick Time's twin. Pole was also twin. Let's get that podium photo now. And if you guys want to do interviews, of course, that'd be pretty cool too. But let's get that victory lane photo right now. All right, there we go. Twin, you want to do an interview today? No. No need for that. How about you, Mr. Monaco? Check general. Yeah, no, I believe you. I saw the proof of you actually having that happen. So, I saw that happen, so no worries on the second one. Alright, so Mr. Monaco here finishing P2 will take home a relatively nice looking trophy there of the racetrack, but also taking home 75 Robux. However, falling a little bit short of victory lane. Not a bad race overall, though. Had a couple shots at it. But one thing I think I want to talk about is what was going on there with the last restart. I'll let you actually speak for yourself on this.
Well, frankly, I didn't pit because the car doesn't need pitting. It runs way better with low tires. Can get more rotation in it and more mid-corner speed. Yada yada yada. I've said it before. Yeah, I could have made this into my second win. I was pushing for the one-stop strategy that this car is really good at, but of course it didn't work out because there was a yellow. So yeah, a bit short of that second victory.
Well, we got one more shot of course, at AIC, but overall, it didn't seem like he had that bad of a race still. I mean, of course, a second place is a very solid way to finish. There is, of course, 2 races tomorrow. However, I think we'll probably be seeing you next time, probably next week.
Maybe not actually. I'm going on a ski trip.
All right. That's fair
But
enough.
over than that, yeah, it was. I mean, the Ferrari on those new tires, even on new tires, old tires, it drives amazing. Especially on this track where you need the rotation, really just flies. Mercedes is really good too on the straight and stuff, and on high speed, but it just can't match that Ferrari in rotation.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, it was a bit of a tight car. I know that we do have to do a lot of work in these cars, of course, in the future. Still one of those classes under question if it will run in the 2024 season. Not a no, not a yes. We're kind of just still trying to figure things out. However, looks like that, from what I'm hearing, that might be how your season ends, potentially. That's fair enough. So thank you there, Mr. Monaco. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to the next guy?
That's all.
Okay, thank you there. Jack Pro, do you want to do an interview? Bum, bum, bum. Fair enough. Good job on the P3, by the way. You did earn that one legitimately. I know that Dabcat did eventually disconnect. However, your pass on him was a legitimate pass. So, good job at getting up to third and keeping it. All right, so fourth place was at Manos, and they are not here. That leaves us with one more person that finished, and we'll also talk to Dabcat if they stay. But Berto here kind of just finishing with a bit of a fuck it mindset. I know there's really not a lot to talk about today. However, first experience I know is a little bit of a bore fest. I don't know if good. I mean, if you're not doing one, then that's okay. But if you are, you're unmuted, but you could also use chat if you'd prefer to do so. If not, you can
Hello?
say it. Oh yeah, yo. Yeah, I know that was a bit
Yeah.
of a tough race. However,
Mm-hmm.
the first experience out on the track, of course,
Yeah.
seemed kind of like I'm not sure what to hear from you, but that's fine. You know, is there anything you want to say about how today's race went?
Yeah. Yeah. I just said first on track. It's not a bad track, but it's definitely a track because of our momentum. Um, First time driving the car, then when I got like 2 minutes of practice. Um, yeah, a lot to learn, a lot to take home, and what's the better next thing? Congrats to the guys that got the podium. I do have to say that the NSX is actually not bad in Australia at all because it wasn't Fridays. It passing on the final stretch. I actually opened my eyes. I was like, But yeah, that's how to say. It wasn't about, but it was a bad race. I'm not gonna tell it's not gonna. It wasn't a bad race. It was a bad race, but I guess it's lessons to learn or what's not. That's what I have to say.
Fair enough. Of course, there's another one going on next week at AIC, as well as some more classes that might be your pace. There's the micros going on tomorrow. If you're able to do that, that is one I probably, for your sake, I would probably recommend getting into. Pretty easy to drive. It's only 20 laps instead of 60, so if you want a quick little
Right.
race, yeah, that'll probably be an alright one to do. However, you know, the other new guy, Dabcat, didn't do so well. He didn't quite finish. We'll get to him in just a minute. But I guess there's that to take home with. Beat the other new guy. And there's more races to come. Now, we got one more race at AIC with these things. In the future, I'm not 100% certain. We'll see what happens in the future, but that should about do it. We're gonna talk to one more guy. Thank you though. So Dabcat here had to pull off. However, you were running in third place for a pretty good chunk of that race. Got passed by Jack. However, for your first GTI experience overall, how would you say that went for you? Should be unmuted, by the way. You could also use chat if you'd prefer. Yeah. Not really hearing anything from Dabcat. I think he's gone AFK. Fair enough. That is gonna wrap it up for today. We got, of course, Two races going on tomorrow. We got the Formula Micros and the Super Indies. The Micros are basically like a miniature version of a Super Indy. It's going to be a 20-lap race. The Micros at 12 PM US PST. Same time that we started running this event. And the Super Indies will be at 2 p.m. They're going to be an 80-lap race, the final closing feature of the weekend before the final one at AIC. I've been longing for this for quite a while. I'm pretty happy to see Tarumã finally get some racing action. I know it was not what people, I think, were really wanting out today. That's kind of what I predicted. I know that a lot of people were thinking it was going to be an absolute banger race after race, but I wouldn't say it was a bad race. A little bit of a sleeper, though. So, wherever the future lies will be fine with me. If we get a good race coming up or a bad one in the future. With the Micros or the Super Indies, I'm really not sure. Both tend to be a little bit more action-packed, more balanced cars. Obviously, they're both spec series. So, whatever happens tomorrow, probably get a little bit more action. Now, mind you, it's been a pleasure to get the sports cars out for today. The mid cars were an absolute banger of a race, and once again, the ROX Mods were great too. So tomorrow's the open wheelers, and that should wrap up the weekend before the finale, which comes up next week. It's been about, let's see, we started in March, so it's been about 9 months working at it. And what a great 9 months it's been. Obviously, we'll start again next March to start things over, but I'm just honestly happy that we've gone this far. Thank you to anyone that is still watching this far. Again, once again, tomorrow at 12, we'll be doing the Micros to close off the weekend.